I was holding my graduation program when I saw it. Someone had crossed out my name with a ballpoint pen, just a thick blue line through Jessica Marie Thornton, Master of Business Administration, summa cum laude, and written my sister's name above it in looping cursive, Madison Thornton. She hadn't even enrolled in school yet. The program was sitting on my mother's kitchen counter. I'd stopped by to drop off the final guest count for my graduation party, the party she'd insisted on planning. The party that was supposed to celebrate 5 years of night classes, weekend study groups, and juggling a full-time job while earning my MBA. I'm Jessica Thornton. I'm 29. I work as a senior financial analyst at a consulting firm in Richmond, Virginia. And I should have known better than to let my mother anywhere near something that mattered to me. Because this wasn't the first time she'd tried to erase what I'd accomplished. It wasn't even the worst time. But it was the time I finally had proof. The kind you can't talk your way out of. The kind that holds up when someone who actually matters is watching. If you want to know what happened next, keep listening. Growing up, there were 2 versions of our family story. In my mother's version, she had 2 daughters. Madison was the bright one, the talented one, the one with potential. I was there, responsible, practical, the one who'd figure it out. Madison got piano lessons in art camp. I got a library card and a lecture about self-reliance. When Madison brought home C's, Mom said she was creatively minded, not a test person. When I brought home A's, Mom said grades didn't mean anything in the real world. I remember being 17, sitting at the kitchen table with my acceptance letter to state school. Full academic scholarship. My dad was proud. He kept saying, "That's my girl, that's my girl." My mother looked at the letter for maybe 5 seconds. Then she said, "Well, Madison's only a freshman. She still has time to get scholarships too." That was the line I never forgot. Not congratulations. Not even acknowledgement. Just a reminder that whatever I did, it was only valuable if it made Madison look better by comparison. So I stopped expecting anything from her. I went to state school, worked 2 jobs to cover housing, graduated in 3.5 years with a degree in finance, got hired at a consulting firm in Richmond before I even walked across the stage. Madison dropped out of community college after 1 semester, moved back home, spent the next few years finding herself, which mostly meant working part-time at a boutique and posting aesthetic photos on Instagram. Mom called it Madison's artistic journey. Dad called it what it was. But I didn't care anymore. I had my own life, my own apartment, my own career. I was good at what I did: budget modeling, financial forecasting, client portfolio management. I'd built something that didn't need my mother's approval to be real. And then I decided to go for my MBA. It took 5 years. Night classes at the university, weekend intensives, summer sessions. I kept my full-time job the entire time, paid for it myself. No loans, just discipline and a lot of coffee. When I got the email that I'd been accepted into the honors program, I didn't even tell my family. I just forwarded it to my dad with a smiley face. He called me 30 seconds later, nearly crying. Mom found out 3 days after that, when Dad mentioned it at dinner. Her response? "Oh, that's nice, honey." That's when I realized what this was really about. I graduated in May, summa cum laude, top 5% of my class. The university sent a formal announcement to my parents' address because I'd listed them as family contacts. My dad framed it. My mom left it on the counter under a grocery store circular. I didn't care. I really didn't. I'd already accepted a promotion at work, senior financial analyst, with a team under me and a salary that made the last 5 years worth every exhausted midnight. But Dad wanted to celebrate. He kept saying I deserved a party. Something proper. Something that acknowledged what I'd done. I told him it was fine. I'd rather just have dinner with him and a few friends. That's when Mom got involved. She called me on a Tuesday night. "Jessica, Your father tells me you don't want a graduation party. I just don't need something big, Mom. Well, that's ridiculous. You worked hard. We should celebrate. I should have hung up. I should have said no. But there was something in her voice, something almost warm, and I was tired. So tired of being the one who had to protect myself from my own mother. Okay, I said. Nothing huge, just family and a few friends. Perfect. I'll handle it. You just send me the guest list and I'll take care of everything. Then something didn't add up. She'd never offered to plan anything for me. Not my high school graduation, not my undergrad ceremony, not my 25th birthday, my promotion party, nothing. But I ignored the feeling. I sent her the list. 20 people. My dad, my closest friends from grad school, 2 mentors from work, a couple of cousins I actually liked. She confirmed the venue, a nice restaurant with a private event room. She said she'd handle the deposit, the catering, everything. I thanked her. That was my first mistake. 2 weeks before graduation, the invitations went out. I didn't see them until my friend Alicia texted me a photo. The card was cream-colored, formal script. It read, "Join us in celebrating Madison and Jessica Thornton as they embark on their academic journeys." I stared at my phone. Madison wasn't graduating. Madison wasn't in school. Madison had mentioned, once in passing, 3 months ago, that she was thinking about enrolling in an associate degree program at the community college. Thinking about it. I called my mother. Mom, the invitation. Why is Madison's name on it? Oh, sweetie, I thought it would be nice. She's so excited about going back to school. It can be a dual celebration. She hasn't enrolled yet. Well, she's planning to. It's the same thing. No, it's not. Jessica, don't be selfish. Family supports family. There it was. The line she always used. I took a breath. Mom, this is my graduation party. I earned a master's degree. Madison hasn't even submitted an application. And that's exactly why she needs encouragement. You've always had it so easy. Madison struggles. This would mean so much to her. I wish I could say that was the end, but she didn't stop. Over the next week, she updated the Facebook event, celebrating the Thornton sisters' achievements. She told relatives to bring gifts for both girls. She posted photos of Madison on the event page with captions like, "So proud of my daughter for taking the next step." My dad called me furious. "Jess, I didn't know she was doing this. I told her to stop." "It's fine, Dad." "It's not fine." But I didn't have the energy to fight her. I just decided I'd show up, smile for 2 hours, and then leave. It wasn't worth the drama. That was my second mistake. The family group chat became a nightmare. My aunt posted, "Can't wait to see both my nieces shine. Got a little something for each of you." My cousin, "Madison, what are you studying? So exciting." Madison responded with a string of emojis and, "Haven't decided yet, LOL, probably something creative." I muted the chat. But then my professional contact started getting pulled in. My mentor from the MBA program, Dr. Patel, emailed me. "Jessica, I received an invitation to your celebration. It mentions your sister as well. I wasn't aware she was also graduating. Congratulations to you both." I wrote back immediately. "She's not. There's been a miscommunication. The party is just for my MBA." Dr. Patel didn't respond. Then my boss called. "Hey Jess, got a nice invitation from your mom. Didn't know your sister was in school too." "She's not, Richard. My mom got a little overzealous with the planning." There was a pause. "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." But I wasn't fine, because my mother had invited people from my professional life, people whose respect I'd earned, and contaminated it with her narrative. The narrative where I wasn't enough on my own, where even my master's degree had to be shared. I started documenting everything. Every text, every email, every Facebook post. I didn't know why yet. I just knew I needed proof that I wasn't crazy. But that wasn't even the worst part. 1 week before the party, I got a call from the venue. "Hi, is this Jessica Thornton?" "Yes." "Great. I'm calling from Riverside Events. We have your reservation for the 23rd, but I wanted to confirm a couple details. The contract lists Madison Thornton as the primary contact. Is that correct?" My stomach dropped. "No. It should be under my name." "Oh. Let me check. Okay. It looks like the reservation was changed about 10 days ago. The deposit was also updated to reflect Madison Thornton as the guest of honor. Changed by who?" It says, "Carol Thornton made the adjustment." My mother. I asked them to email me the updated contract. When it came through, I saw it. Every mention of my name had been replaced with Madison's. The package was even downgraded. Fewer appetizers, cheaper wine, smaller cake. And the cake. I called the bakery. "Hi, I'm checking on the order for the 23rd, Thornton party." "Oh yes, we have that. It's a sheet cake with 'Congratulations, Madison, on your new journey' in purple frosting." I didn't even argue. I just said thank you and hung up. Then I called the photographer my mom had hired. "Yeah, we've got you down. The contract specifies Madison Thornton as the primary graduate, with family portraits focused on her. Jessica's listed as secondary." I asked for a copy of that contract too. When I had everything in front of me, venue, catering, cake, photographer, I saw the pattern. My mother had systematically erased me from my own graduation party. But that wasn't the only thing. I checked my bank account. The old joint account I'd had with my parents since high school. The one I'd forgotten to close because it only had like $40 in it. There'd been a withdrawal. $1,500. The deposit for the venue. She'd used my money to pay for a party that wasn't even for me anymore. I sat at my kitchen table with all the documents printed out, and I realized something. This wasn't just about Madison. This wasn't even about me. This was about control. About Mom's need to rewrite reality so she never had to admit that the daughter she'd dismissed had succeeded. That the daughter she'd worshipped had stalled. And she thought I'd just let it happen. Graduation day was a Saturday. Beautiful weather. Blue sky. I wore my cap and gown for the ceremony at the university, walked across the stage, shook the dean's hand. Dean Richardson. She'd taught one of my capstone classes. Sharp, no nonsense, respected across the business school. She'd written one of my recommendation letters for the honors program. After the ceremony, she stopped me. "Jessica, congratulations. Truly outstanding work." "Thank you, Dean Richardson. I'll see you at your celebration tonight, yes?" I received the invitation. I blinked. "You're coming?" "Of course. I don't usually attend student events, but your mother specifically reached out and said how much it would mean to you." My skin went cold. "She did?" "Yes. Lovely note. She also mentioned your sister's achievement. I wasn't aware you had a sibling in our program." "Oh my God." "Dean Richardson, my sister isn't in the program. She's not enrolled anywhere." The dean's expression shifted. "I see. Well, we'll sort that out tonight, I'm sure." She walked away before I could explain further. I got to the venue at 6. The party started at 7. The event room was decorated. Balloons, streamers, a banner across the back wall that said, "Congratulations, Madison." My name wasn't anywhere. There was a photo table. 20 pictures of Madison. 2 of me. I stood there, staring, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Not anger, not sadness, clarity. My dad arrived first. He saw the banner and his face went red. "Jessica, it's okay, Dad. It's not okay. I'm going to..." "No, let it play out." He stared at me. "What are you planning?" Nothing. I'm just not going to stop her anymore. Guests started arriving. Friends from grad school, colleagues, family, and Dean Richardson. She walked in, looked around, and I saw her notice the banner, the photos, the cake, now on display, with Madison's name in purple frosting. Mom was in the corner talking to Madison, who was dressed like she was going to a gallery opening. Mom saw me and waved, all smiles. At 7:15, Mom clinked a glass. Everyone, thank you so much for coming. We're here tonight to celebrate two very special young women. I stood near the back. My dad was beside me, tense. Dean Richardson was near the front, arms crossed. Mom continued. Madison has decided to pursue her education, and we couldn't be prouder. And Jessica, of course, finished her program. Both of my girls, achieving wonderful things. Her program, like it was a yoga certification. And I have to say, as a mother, it's so rewarding to see Madison finally find her path. She's always been so talented, and now she's ready to shine. We've set up a little gift table for her, if anyone wants to contribute to her textbook fund. That's when Dean Richardson stepped forward. Excuse me, Carol. May I say a few words? Mom looked startled. Oh, of course. Dean Richardson took the microphone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Richardson from the University Business School. I had the pleasure of teaching Jessica in her strategic finance capstone. She looked directly at me. Jessica Thornton graduated summa cum laude with a 3.97 GPA. She completed her MBA while working full-time, led 2 student consulting projects that resulted in published case studies, and received the Chancellor's Award for Academic Excellence. The room was silent. I was invited here tonight under the impression that we were celebrating Jessica's extraordinary achievement, and also her sister Madison's parallel accomplishment. Mom's face went pale. However, I've just learned that Madison Thornton is not enrolled in any program at our university. In fact, our registrar has no record of her ever applying. Someone coughed. Madison was staring at the floor. Dean Richardson continued. I've also learned that approximately 2 weeks ago, someone using the name Carol Thornton contacted our registrar's office requesting duplicate diploma materials for Madison Thornton, claiming she was Jessica's twin and had also completed the MBA program. My mother's mouth opened. Nothing came out. That request was flagged as fraudulent and reported to our compliance office. We've been investigating. I had chills. The dean looked at me. Jessica, I'm sorry you've been put in this position. You deserve better. She handed the microphone back to my mom and walked over to me. I brought copies of the correspondence we received, she said quietly, pulling a folder from her bag. If you need them. I took the folder. Inside were printouts. Emails from my mother to the registrar, requests for diplomas, transcripts, honors cords. All for Madison. Timestamps matched. 2 weeks ago, right when the invitations went out. My attorney friend Vanessa was standing nearby. She'd seen the whole thing. She leaned over. Jess, that's fraud. Attempted fraud at minimum. I looked at my mother. She was frozen, holding the microphone. My dad walked up to her. Carol, what the hell did you do? But that wasn't even the worst part. Madison started crying, not quiet tears, full sobs. I didn't know, I swear I didn't know. Mom said it was just a party. She said we were both celebrating. I didn't know she contacted the school. My mom snapped. Madison, stop. No. You said this was to help me feel better. You said Jessica always gets everything and it was my turn. The room was dead silent. My mom's mask cracked. She looked around at 60+ people staring at her. This is ridiculous. Jessica, tell them. Tell them you wanted to share the spotlight with your sister. No. Excuse me? No, Mom. I didn't want this. I asked for a small dinner. You insisted on planning it. You changed the venue contract. You ordered a cake with Madison's name. You withdrew $1,500 from my account without asking. You contacted my university and tried to get fraudulent diplomas. Vanessa stepped forward. And we have documentation of all of it. I pulled out my folder, printed emails, texts, screenshots of the group chat, the venue contract with Mom's signature, the bakery order, the photographer agreement. I handed copies to Dean Richardson and to my dad. My dad read through them. His hands were shaking. Carol, you stole from her account? It was a joint account. Technically, she's 29 years old. You stole from her. Dean Richardson was reading the emails. Her expression was stone. Mrs. Thornton, I need to inform you that the university will be pursuing action regarding your fraudulent requests. You're banned from campus effective immediately. If you attempt to contact our offices again, we'll refer the matter to local authorities. My mother's face went from pale to red. You can't. I absolutely can. And I will. Then my mom turned to me, and for the first time in my life, I saw her scared. Jessica, please, this is a misunderstanding. No, Mom, it's not. I was just trying to help Madison feel included. By erasing me? She didn't have an answer. I looked at the room, my friends, my colleagues, my family. I'm sorry you all had to see this, but I'm glad you did, because now you know. I picked up my bag. Dean Richardson, thank you for coming. Dad, I'll call you tomorrow. I walked out. Vanessa followed me. So did 3 of my grad school friends, my mentor Dr. Patel and my boss. We ended up at a bar 2 blocks away, ordered appetizers, toasted with whiskey. Dr. Patel raised his glass. To the real graduate. To Jessica, Vanessa said, who doesn't need a banner to prove what she's accomplished. I felt something I hadn't felt in years, free. The next morning, my dad showed up at my apartment. He looked exhausted. Your mother and I are separating. I sat down. Dad, no. Listen, I've watched her do this to you for 29 years. I told myself it wasn't that bad, that she just had a hard time showing pride, that Madison needed more support because she struggled. But last night, I can't pretend anymore. He handed me an envelope. This is a check for $1,500 from my personal account. I'm closing that joint account today, and I'm filing for divorce. Dad, you don't have to. Yes, I do. I should have done it years ago. We sat there for a while, not talking, just being. Then he said, I'm proud of you, Jess. I'm so damn proud of you. That's when I cried. The university followed through. My mother was officially banned from campus. She tried to call me 47 times over the next week. I blocked her number. Madison sent me a long text apologizing. She said she'd finally enrolled in therapy, that she was starting to see how Mom had used her. I didn't respond right away, but I didn't block her either. Vanessa helped me draft a cease and desist letter regarding the financial theft. My mother's attorney responded with an agreement to repay the full amount plus interest. No admission of guilt, but the money was returned within 10 days. I also established a formal no-contact boundary. If she violated it, Vanessa would pursue a restraining order. My mother didn't violate it. At work, my boss pulled me aside. Hey, I just want you to know, what I saw at that party, that took guts. Standing up for yourself like that. You've got a hell of a future here. 2 months later, I got another promotion. Director level, leading a team of 8 analysts. I framed my MBA diploma, hung it in my office, and I never second-guessed my accomplishments again. 6 months after graduation, I had dinner with my dad and a few close friends. Small Italian place, quiet corner table. No banners, no speeches, just good food and people who actually cared. My dad gave me a gift, a leather portfolio with my initials embossed on the front. For all those future accomplishments, he said. Dr. Patel was there, Vanessa, my grad school crew. My boss even stopped by for a drink. Someone asked me if I'd heard from my mother. No, and I'm okay with that. Because here's what I learned. You don't owe people access to your success just because they're family. You don't owe them forgiveness just because they apologize. And you definitely don't owe them a piece of what you built when they spent years tearing you down. Boundaries aren't mean. They're necessary. And the people who truly love you, they'll respect them. I still think about that graduation program sometimes. My name crossed out in blue pen, Madison's name written on top. But now I think about what came after. Dean Richardson stepping forward. My dad finally seeing the truth. Me, walking out of that party with my head high. That's the story I choose to remember, not the one my mother tried to write. So if you've been through something like this, if you've had someone try to erase what you've earned, diminish what you've accomplished, or rewrite your story to make themselves feel better, tell me in the comments. What would you have done? Because your achievements are yours, and no one gets to take that away, not even family.